Every night when families sit down for dinner or when we reach into the pantry to grab a snack, we often don't think about where the food comes from or whether there's enough for our next meal. Unfortunately, this is not true for many other families throughout the country and in our community. The U.S. Department of Agriculture defines food insecurity as a state in which consistent access to food is limited by a lack of money or other resources. 1 in 6 children in America face food insecurity. 20 million children access free reduced price meals through school. In 2016, 41.2 million people lived with food insecurity. 6.5 million of them were children. In the state of California, 1.9 million children are food insecure. That means there is a total of 4.9 million people in California experiencing food insecurity. In the city of Sacramento, 242,830 people lived with food insecurity. 88,290 of them were children. This means that the child food insecurity rate was 24.4%. That is almost 1 in 4 children being hungry. Food insecurity even affects children in school. Let's take a closer look at our school, Del Paso Manor Elementary.
At Del Paso Manor Elementary School, we have about 68% of our students who are dealing with food insecure issues. Out of our 625 kids that go to Del Paso Manor, we have a little over 400 students who receive free breakfast and free lunch.
I believe that food insecurity affects students here at DPM. When they're coming to school hungry and they don't have any food in their bellies, they haven't had a nutritious breakfast, they're not able to concentrate in class and get the learning that they really need to get while they're here at school.
Food insecurity has a tremendous impact on students in school. Not everyone often thinks about this, but when you're hungry, you're not necessarily able to think, your stomach's growling, your mind is focused on being hungry and where your next meal is going to come from. In addition to that, students often know that lunch is their last meal that they're going to get for the day. They're not going to get food again until the next morning when they return to school.
Another challenge that we see when working with a lot of our clients is that they aren't able to manage their emotions as well if you don't have access to healthy food on a regular basis. So unfortunately, people can lose their temper more quickly. They can say things that they regret, and there are a lot of kind of negative outcomes that are tied directly to not having enough healthy food.
Every year it seems like the rate of food insecurity issues is increasing. So for example, this year at our school, our rate went up about 5% over the previous year.
So if the food insecurity rate is going up, what services are in place to help this situation?
CalFresh, which is food stamps here in California, and what that is that's a supplemental income for families that are having hard times. What we do is help them apply for the program, and then they receive dollars on an EBT card that they can use to buy healthy food for their family. Families can access food at no cost. As the main food bank for Sacramento County, our organization is working with about 220 partner agencies, and those are church pantries, schools, food programs, where we're making sure we're getting healthy food options and then they're distributing it to families in need.
And so what we do is we have a commercial kitchen here, and we prepare hundreds of meals every single day. We serve at the beginning of the month anywhere from 300 to 400 lunches a day towards, and then towards the end of the month we might serve anywhere between 600 to 900 meals each day.
So my role at River City Food Bank is to provide food for those in our community who don't have the resources to buy healthy food.
We have a number of different programs within Loaves and Fishes here. The main one though is centered kind of around Friendship Park, where people will come to us when we open up each morning at 7 a.m. And a lot of times the first thing that people will do is they'll come in and they'll get a lunch ticket, and then they'll wait for their number to be called at lunchtime, and then once their number is called, then they go in and they get in line and they go through the food line kind of like you would at your school cafeteria.
We also offer something called Produce for All. We have a retrofitted beverage truck that pulls up to 15 different locations in Sacramento. We roll up our doors and we actually can distribute fresh produce. Several hundred families can receive food in just under an hour, and we're on our way. We also have health and nutrition. That's where we teach nutrition classes as well as classes in our demonstration garden, so people know how to eat healthy, prepare the food that they're receiving, pay attention when they're reading labels in the grocery store, etc.
So anyone who needs food would come to our place here from 11:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. And we go through a very short interview process where we can help them with other resources. And then they take their bags and go through the place where our groceries are, and they get to pick and choose the foods that they want to take home and prepare. And then they choose those foods and they're on their way.
These organizations have a tremendous effect on people's life, but we as individuals can also make a difference.
There's so many ways that people can get involved. One easy way is to make a gift. Think about a financial way that you can give to make a difference in our community. Currently, $12 will buy a family of enough food for 3 meals for 3 days. So it's a great impact that somebody can make. They can give a financial gift. Another thing they can do is host a donation drive. Canned food, clothing, backpacks, you name it. We can drop off a barrel and a school or a group can collect, and we'll pick it up and give it to families in need. Another way that you can get involved is volunteering. The minimum age is 10, so there's a lot of 10-year-olds and up that can get out in there and become volunteers. We offer volunteer orientation once a week at either one of our locations. You can come down and get involved, and also participate in events. That's a great way for people to become involved. Come out at Run to Feed the Hungry, or in November drop off a turkey during our annual turkey drive. Or coming up in May, there's a really great thing called Stamp Out Hunger. The United States Postal Service, the National Association of Letter Carriers, will deliver bags to your home. Put some canned food in that and leave it by your mailbox, and that will all come to Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services. We'll make sure that it's all throughout Sacramento County.
There was one time where someone went and purchased a ton of food from Chipotle. So all the stuff that people need to make a burrito, it came in big like vats, and so we had all this food, and it was just all set out so that we could kind of prepare the burritos ourselves and make the food right on the spot. So it was pretty neat when we had that.
We all need to be aware of the food insecurity crisis for our most vulnerable population, the children of Sacramento. What can we do? Sacramento is so fortunate to have organizations like the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, Loaves and Fishes, and the River City Food Bank. Let's volunteer, raise funds, help provide resources for our community. Let's be the change.